Alright, so the other tool that's commonly used in Maya is the Bevel tool, which you can find here, and it's also here, and let's have a look, where is it? There we go, here, Bevel tool. And so if you take a look at this object here, as you can see, the edges are just perfectly sharp. So this edge from here, and then it turns the corner to that edge there, and it's just perfectly sharp. And also, as you can see, the edge loop didn't finish here, so grab the multi-cut tool and we can just finish it manually. Boom, there you go. Right, so the bevel tool actually gives you a bit more of a beveled edge, or like a softer edge, which is very good, because if you take a look in real life, nothing is very razor sharp unless it's a blade of some sort, and so you don't want razor sharp edges, and so normally you'll use a bevel tool just to bevel the object. Now this is a bit complicated here, because it's a bit complicated geometry, so it might be a bit difficult if you're a beginner. So what I'm going to do is just delete that and just do something simple like a cube. And so I'm just going to scale it up and basically take a look at how we're going to bevel this cube. So go into edge mode, and let's select these edges here, say for example. So we have all these edges selected, and again I'm just going to deselect everything. Hold down control, click drag. So control deselects, remember, and shift adds to the selection. So click once and then hold down shift, click, 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 and so we've got all these four edges selected, and then just hit bevel, boom, and it's created a bevel. And with this large bevel like this, we've actually changed the cube into a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 8-sided shape. And so we've got some options there, and you can see the fraction is highlighted. And so if you click drag, you can decrease the fraction or increase the fraction. Now the movement's very jerky, just a slight movement, and the fraction increases a lot. And same for the other way. If you kind of want to decrease it, just a slight move of the mouse, and boom. And so if you want more control over the fraction here, take a look at this little blue pie chart here. As you can see, most of it is blue, which means it's going to give you this kind of jerky movement. But if you click on it and you decrease the amount of blue in this pie chart, and now when you click drag the mouse, that is, so left mouse button, click drag, you have more finer control over the movement of the fraction, you see. And if you want even more finer control, hold down shift control and then do fraction, and look at that, it moves very slowly. Okay, so let's just stop it about here. And then you've got segments. Now we have one segment, and you might want more than one segment, so click drag, and there we go. So we've done two, and look at that, it's now given us a curved edge. And so if you take a look at a lot of surfaces in the real world, the edges are slightly curved. So that's just two segments, but maybe you want more resolution to increase the quality of this curve here. So there we go. So I've got 5 here, and look how nice and curved this corner is, you see. And so go back to object mode and take a look at it. We can switch off the wireframe, and look at that, nice smooth edges. Now we can do the same along the top and the bottom of the cube. So go into edge mode and click. Now hold down shift to add to selection. Boom, 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 boom. And this is going to take us forever. So a quick way is to just, what I do is click drag and select the entire cube. There we go. Now we don't want these vertical edges, obviously, so if you hold down control, and it didn't select the bottom, let me do it one more time actually, because it went a bit wrong for some reason. Right, okay, so we're doing a take two now. So click drag, and if you take a look, the whole cube is now selected. So hold down control, remember control deselects, click drag, and I want to deselect these vertical edges. Boom. So all that's left now are the horizontal edges. And so there you go. So that's a much quicker way of selecting a lot of edges. And then let's just hit bevel, and there we go. And again, one segment gives us this flat bevel, and if you want to add segments, there we go. we have this rounded corner. So let's take a look. There we go. So we've got nice round corners. Now I left this as the default position. You might want to increase the fraction, say there, and there you go. Look at that, we've got nice soft corners around our cube. Now one thing to remember is if you take a look at this face, it's not four-sided because we've got all these edges that are just left hanging. Remember, your edges need to terminate, so they need to loop round. So this is where the multi-cut comes into it. And so let's double click, make sure edge flow switched off. It is, and all we need to do is just connect all the edges. So there goes here, there we go, and I'm going to do the same here. And you might think, oh god, this is going to take a while. Look at that, I've got to like connect all these edges. Well, let me introduce you to another tool. Okay, so normally when you're modeling, alright, you only model half the model, and then what you do is you mirror the half over and you have your complete model. Okay, so let's split this model into two. So remember, if you hold down control middle mouse button, click, it creates an edge loop directly in the middle of the model. Now obviously it stops here. And why does it stop here? Because this isn't a four-sided shape, and so you might have to do it twice and then just connect that edge to there and this edge to here. There you go. So now select face mode, click drag and select half the model and just delete it. There you go. And we can do the same here. So grab the multi-cut, hold down control middle mouse, boom. So the edge loop is directly in the center of the geometry. Go into face mode, click drag, boom. So now all we need to do is connect these edges here, and so grab the multi-cut, so this edge connects to this. I missed it there, let's do it again. So click drag, boom, make sure it catches, so you click and then slide and then boom, there you go. And then we can grab this edge, hold down shift control to draw the green line nice and straight all the way across, and then click and do the same here, shift control, click, and then let's select that edge there, connect it to this edge, select this edge here, connect it to that edge, and then here we can hold down control, create an edge loop, and then just connect it here. And as you can see, they're all four-sided now. Even here, this one, although it looks like a triangle, it has 1, 2, 3, 4 sides. And so we can do the same here. Hold down control, create an edge loop, and then connect it. Boom. So we only have to do this once. And now, with that done, I'm going to go back into the channel editor here, because once you do a lot of operations, you can see all the history that builds up, and so you can click on this to delete history. Alright, this is done. Hit W for the move tool, and it looks kind of strange. Hold down W, world mode. So in the world mode, and as you can see, the Y axis is pointing down instead of up. So we've actually, this is the right way around. Okay, so we've got this bottom kind of quadrant of the cube finished, and so what we need to do is mirror this cube in this direction. So let's take a look at the mirror tool. So mesh, mirror, let's open up the options, edit, reset. Okay, so we want to go in this direction, so it's x-axis, but we're going backwards, so it's x and it's minus, and x minus is set up by default, which is cool. And we want to be in world mode, and world means we are crossing the border, because the border is here. Can you see this black vertical line, and then the black horizontal line? We're crossing over. So you want world mode. I'm going to go into perspective view, just because it's better to look at. Merge border vertices, yep. Combine with original, yep. And then you got merge threshold, automatic or custom. Now if you put on automatic, Maya will calculate what vertices need to be merged. I like to do it myself, so hit custom and keep it at this here 0.0 001. With 0.001 you can never fail. Now hit mirror. Boom, look at that. We've mirrored over the cube. Now you've got this highlighted area here, and when it's highlighted it means the vertices did not merge, as you can see. They separate. So you might think, well, what happened? How come? So let's do a Control Z to undo it, and then let's examine this cube. So right click, boom, and let's take a look at what the problem is. And so we can't really see a problem from here. Let's go in the side view. Now if you hit 4 or click on here, you can see the wireframe. And so you might think, well, what is the problem? And if you can see here, these vertices don't align perfectly with the vertical line, because this vertical line here is the center of the scene, and we're mirroring from the center of the scene over to the other side. Okay, so these vertices seem fine, but there's a problem with these vertices. So before you mirror, a good thing is to click, drag and select all the edge vertices, and then W for the move tool. Now hold down W, left mouse button, click. Now make sure you're in world mode, and we want to move the vertices in this direction, the X axis. Now we need to snap these vertices to the center of the grid here. So hold down X. X means snap to grid. X, middle mouse, click. The vertices are now snapped to the grid. So now when we mirror, we shouldn't have this problem. So mesh, mirror, there we go. Take a look. Problem solved. Right click, and as you can see, all the vertices are nicely merged. You can tell because when you grab one vertex and you move it around, there we go, it's merged. There we go. Now we've got to do the top half. Now if you notice, it's the y-axis now. So if we go to mesh and mirror, it's going to mirror in the -x, but we've already done that. We want to mirror in the y-axis. So instead of x minus, it's y, and we're following the arrow, so it's plus. And are we mirroring in the world mode or object mode? Let's take a look. Are we crossing the border? We are, because if you take a look at the horizontal line here, this is the border, and so mirror, boom, and look at that. And now we have the complete cube, and all we had to do was connect these edges here. And because we've mirrored the object in this direction and that direction, all the edges are connected together to form continuous edge loops. So we only had to do it once, and there you go. So that's the power of the mirror tool. And so there you go. So we've got the bevel, and we have the mirror tool. Now if you take a look, you sometimes see some of these little marks here, and you think, well, what is that mark? And so let's hit W and move it up, and basically all it is the grid that's showing. There you go. And if you're modeling, you think that the grid annoys you, you can always switch it off by just clicking it on here. Boom. The grid is now gone. And so there we go. We've got this nice little cube here with our beveled edges. Okie doke.